All right. So previously on the donut bag, the Penguins just lost to was it the Detroit game?
Yeah.
What game was that? Okay, so they looked good, and then they played the Red Wings and looked horrible. And then they had three games in the past week, and we both predicted they'd go 2-1, right?
I went 3-0.
Oh, 3-0. Okay. Oh, you thought they were going to be Boston. Oh,
We
wow.
almost did. We were close,
Close.
I
Close.
think. Yeah, 3-4. That's close.
Yeah. So the first game was Thursday, March 30th against Nashville in Pittsburgh, and they won 2-0. I think the big takeaways from this game were it could have been a lot more, but Predators goalie is really, really good. And Jari had a shutout, which is huge. What did you think of the Nashville game?
Um, yeah, no, their goalie kept them in the game for sure. I wasn't too impressed with our team. I thought that we'd have more going into this game after what happened with Detroit. Or sorry, in Detroit. Was it in Detroit? I don't even know. Yeah, it was.
It was in Detroit, yeah.
Yeah. I thought we'd have more to build off of, but honestly, I was not too impressed. They Let me see here. I think honestly the highlight of the game for me was Chad Ruhweddel's hit on Igor. I'm not gonna say his last name. Elf. Yeah. You remember that?
That dude.
That guy, that big guy, that 6'4" guy, that 5'11" Chad Ruhwedel took a run at. That impressed me. I like that. That was the highlight for me. Yeah, honestly, we had, I don't know. I'm not impressed. I wasn't impressed. Far too many errors. Our shooting accuracy is gross. I actually brought that tweet to your attention. The Pens are in the bottom 7 shooting percentage, despite being in the top 5 for shots per game, which, and the person says, speaks to their quality of shots. Something that we've been talking about every podcast this whole season, and it's got my notes. And it's just frustrating because, like, they're not cleaning it up. They're not focusing on it. They're really not doing anything to improve where they're not good in the areas they're not good, if you know what I mean. And I mean, with 35 errors in that game, sure, we won. Yeah, that's great. But it doesn't give me much, hope with regards to them cleaning up their game. I know we're at the end of the season. We're making a run for the playoffs, but without tightening up these areas, it's just going to be another, early exit.
We've been saying it all year, and one thing I heard this week is, hey, it's not Sullivan's fault. It's just a tired old team.
Yeah.
And hey, they just can't keep up. And it's nobody's fault. They're just old and tired.
Yeah, Penn fan.
It's not Sullivan's fault. This was a writer. So I'm not gonna, but anyway,
No, even worse. Like, I don't
even
know.
worse.
I find that Penn's media is so tightly woven up the Pittsburgh Penguins backside that they're afraid to actually speak out on truth. Like, I'm ready to clown the whole entire fan base on Brian Dumoulin alone. Did you know that he's tied for his best career season already this season? He's still got 5 games to go, or 6.
Speaking of Dumoulin, the first goal that was scored by Zucker, Dumoulin came in like he was Bobby freaking Orr. He was weaving in and out of people, and then he feeds it to Zucker, who was just standing right there and puts it in. It was an amazing effort. That there was like Nashville defenders were diving all over the place. You just go all around them. It was gorgeous.
He's a good player when he wants to be. A good player.
Yeah. Jake scored on the power play. Jari didn't do much, but he did have to stop a couple breakaways. But for him to even have a good game, for him to finish a game is a major accomplishment.
It
So
definitely is. It definitely is. We outshot them 45-28, and um, yeah, that's it. Yeah, like my notes, my notes are horrible, Joe. Like I'm not impressed. They're
okay.
just ugly. I've got the only thing good to say here is about Chad Rubio, literally for
Uh,
once. For once.
so basically I mean, Nashville isn't great, although they are still competing for the playoffs. But if they just don't have much of an offense. So if they did have more of an offense, it probably would have been who knows what would have happened. But
Definitely.
yep. How were missed shots and turnovers this game?
So wait a minute here. What game am I looking at? Oh, okay. I'm all confused here. So this was our worst of the 3 nights. We had 35 errors, 12 turnovers, and 23 missed shots. Players that need to work on shot accuracy after this game are Gino, Sydney, and Friedman. They all had Gino had registered 4 shots on goal, and he also had 4 missed shots. Sydney registered 9 shots on goal, and he had 4 missed shots. Friedman registered 0 shots on goal and had 3 missed shots. This is a problem. This is a problem we've been talking about all season. This is a top-heavy team, but if they can't tighten up their accuracy on these shots, what's the point? You know, can't hope for deflections every time. Like it's not going to happen. You got to tighten up that area, and I'm actually getting tired of saying it. So a total of 35 errors in this game. Russ.
Wait, how many?
35.
Okay, 35 errors total. Okay.
Yeah, so 12 turnovers and 23 missed shots. Rust, Gino, and Sydney coming in with 4 errors each. And then Letang, Petrie, and Zucker, and Friedman coming in with 3. I mean, I'm not going to complain about errors if you're if you have point production as well. It's very important. So if you're not getting one or the other, like you're no good to me. You know what I mean? And of all our offenders, only 2 of them had assists, one being Gino and the other being Letang. So it's really funny how you watch people chirp on like Carter, Dumoulin, and this and that. Do you hear me talking about them making mistakes?
No. But Carter's the worst player in the history of civilizations. How's that? And so is Dumoulin. So how's that possible?
And we got them both on the same team. Yeah, no, I've grown quite tired of it. If people can't understand Jeff Carter's value on this team, and he does have some, it's small, but it's a very important factor. And I'm really tired. Obviously, he's tired of it. He scored 3 goals in the last 2 weeks or week, 2 weeks. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So I mean, like we don't look to Carter for point production. We look to Carter for face-off domination. And meanwhile, Sydney does take the majority of the face-offs. He's not very good at them either. He can be if he wants to be, but it's not really a focus of his. And unfortunately, it should be a focus. Yes.
In terms of number of face-offs, Crosby takes like
a lot. I actually
double and triple what everybody else takes.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually go over that in the last night's game. I'm gonna talk about the breakdown of face-offs.
Okay. So the next game was Saturday, April 1st against Boston in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. At this point, I think Florida was a point behind before the game started, and Florida played later that night. So basically, well, every game now is a must-win game, but basically it was a must-win game, and they lost in regulation to Boston. I mean, Boston is insanely good. They're having an historic season. They're going for I think they're going for the points record.
I mean,
They're,
I'm cheering them on in that regard. It's amazing to see it. The record right now. What is it?
hey,
60 wins and 17 losses.
go get that record because you ain't winning the Stanley Cup, bro.
Yeah, now
Bruins
you
are
got a better chance
Stanley
than
Cup.
Pittsburgh does.
They do have a better chance. That's true. So Pasternak had a hat trick. Bergeron did not play, and they played their backup goalie, which really doesn't mean anything because I think they have two really good goalies. So, but
Wasn't it? Oh yeah.
but the big thing from this game for the Penguins is guess who's back? Brian Rust is back. He's back, baby. 2 goals and an assist. Oh, all is right. All is right with the world. Rusty's back. Isn't that wonderful?
No, one game doesn't sell me on 75 games that were poor. So, if they can stay consistent and build off that each night, I will be excited. But I mean, in last night's game, Sydney gifted him with a goal, which really, really irked me because I want to see Sydney get goals. I want to see him break records, But yeah, no, I want Russ gone. He's no good to this team. But
you don't even want him. You don't even want him on the third line. You think he's that bad?
No, I think he's suitable on the third line because he balances things out. I don't find that. Okay, so Gensel had a goal in that game. Rust had 2 goals, and Sydney had an assist. So, not the kind of production we want to see from Rust and from Gensel and Sydney. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing the high volume of production with Rust on that line. Okay, so they're going to give Rust all the points. I mean, we're not in the war. You don't need to throw out yourself for your teammate here. Like we want to win games, and sure, maybe they're trying to build up Rust's confidence again, which I fully support if that is the case. But I mean, where has he been? Why do we just get this one night and then him be average at best? Like, see, as a coach, this would piss me off. Like, I get the best out of like this is another reason I have a problem with Gino, because it's like 25% versus 100%, and I just seen the same thing with Russ. But keep at it, I guess. I mean, yeah, he did have a goal the next night, so we'll see if he builds off this. I'm hoping he does.
It would be huge if he could if he did get out of this. And from what I understand, I mean, it sounds like the issue is mental. It's just he's just struggling mentally. So yeah, if he could get on, if he could get hot, that would be a great help.
Absolutely.
Because we know he's not going on the third line because it's never Sullivan's fault. It's not Sullivan's fault. It's not. Sullivan has nothing to do with this. He's a perfect baby angel, and never makes a mistake. So that's can't blame him.
I think this one falls on Sydney. I think Sydney wants to play with Rust. I know I see a lot of people. You know what? Let's move on.
Moving on. The main. I mean, it is commendable that basically it was Bruins scored and then Penguins scored right afterwards, mostly.
Yeah.
It was like a heavyweight boxing match. Punch for punch. You punch me, I'll punch back. Punch. But in the end, they scored. Pasternak got his hat trick goal at 17:34, and that was enough. The other major thing is the Bruins were, I believe, 2 for 3 on the power play, and the Penguins were 0 for 6. There's a difference.
No, I think this was a well-played game, considering we played one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. But poor performance from our captain in that game. Sure, he had 1 assist, but like again, not what I want to see from our captain. I know he can give more. We were a little lower on the errors in this game. We were down 6 from the last game, so 29 in total, but 15 turnovers. That's a little high, especially when you're playing a powerhouse like Boston, and 14 missed shots. We only had 4 shots on goal in the first period. Like, that's it. Those are my notes.
The shots on goal for the whole game were terrible for the Penguins. They did not shots 24 shots for the Penguins, and the Bruins had 35. That's a sign of a really good team. You're not allowing shots, or maybe if they were a little more accurate, they would allow more shots. But
the only highlight in this is we actually were better than them on the dot, and they are, like, without a doubt, the best team on faceoffs this year. So seeing that kind of warmed my heart a little bit, because you know how much I love and value faceoff wins.
Yes. Not everyone does, but you do.
I do.
I know Bergeron didn't play, but if the Penguins make the playoffs and if they play Boston in the first round, how many games do you think it would go?
5.
5, and Boston would win.
Yeah,
I could see that. I could see them squeezing out one game. Yeah. We'll see. It kind of looks like it's going that way. Kind of looks like that's who they're going to end up playing is they're going to barely
if we
make the
make
playoffs.
it. Like, I mean, it's still really tight, Joe. I know we're in there right now, but like, if you look at the standings, you've got Florida 1 point away, you've got Buffalo 5 points away, Ottawa 6 points away, and there's still 5 to 6 games each for all these teams. Like, it could go any way. It really could.
It's really the Islanders, Penguins, in Florida. Just 3 teams, 2 spots. And
no, I see 5 teams. I see 5.
You think there's other teams that still have a chance?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ottawa and Buffalo have been going on, like, have been winning predominantly their games. I mean, it's, I'm telling you, it's any one of these teams. It's definitely any one of those 5 teams, because Pittsburgh could lose 3 and Buffalo could win 4. So I'm not ruling anyone out. It really comes down to who wants it the most.
5 games left. That's all the Penguins have left, and they actually,
Buffalo has 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, and like I said, they're only 4 points. They're only 5 points away from us. So I don't want to say there's no guarantees at this point. This is really where we see how bad teams want it, right?
Yes. How bad do you want it? This is it. Gut check time.
That's it.
Yeah.
One other takeaway from the Boston Bruins game was Ruedel and Grunlund are no good. They gave me so much stress during that game.
I'd say Gremlin is a major disappointment, and a big head scratcher of why the hell did they even get him.
We know that it's because Hextall's trying to sink this team.
Kind of looks like it. Looks like it. Somebody put out a thing. It's like, does Hextall belong in the Hall of Fame? And my reply was, if you ask a Penguins fan, he belongs in jail, not the Hall of Fame.
I just responded with no.
Petrie is not getting high marks, and neither is P.O. Joseph. I keep hearing that they're just not.
Joseph is going through something. He's got magic in him. That magic could be harnessed. He's young enough. Petrie should never have come. He should go back to Montreal.
Horrible trade.
Yeah,
horrible
I'm
trade
over that trade. Like,
major. Yeah, that just did not work. Just did not work. So now on to the next game. The next day, Sunday, April 2nd in Pittsburgh. They played the Flyers. For some reason, they only play the Flyers 3 times.
Yeah, I thought divisions are supposed to be 5. I'm not complaining.
Exactly. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that is. First of all, it's the Flyers. You should play. They used to play them 8 times a year, not freaking 3. What is this crap?
No idea.
No, that's really dumb. Anyway, they beat the Flyers 4-2.
To be fair, we were up 3-0, and they
Yes.
brought it back to 3-2. Or speak, Jennifer. Funny enough, for the 2 Philadelphia goals, the same 5 Penguin players were on the ice. Ivy, Parker, Paling, Joseph, and Petrie. They were on the ice for both goals. I don't know why Carter was brought up to play. I guess Carter was brought up for the face-off. I don't understand. I don't understand, because Carter was playing on the 4th line with O'Connor and Archibald. And I don't know where Grenlin went. I don't know. Yeah, Carter replaced Grenlin on that line.
So let me get this straight. P.O. Joseph is struggling. Petrie is struggling. So we decide to put them together. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
He does not know how to run his bench.
It's not his fault.
It's either he's listening to players and the players are wrong, or okay, so we've got Dumoulin back with Letang, and I don't hate that.
Dumoulin's doing okay.
Dumoulin's doing okay. Dumoulin's doing okay. I'm so angry. I'm so angry with the disrespect Dumoulin gets, because I wrote something out. I covered Brian Dumoulin's career for regular season points in 18-19 season. He had a total of 23 points. That was his career high. This year, he's at 23 points.
Interesting.
Yeah. So let's hate on someone that's doing as well, if not better, because with 5 games, he could still increase that, right?
Can I nominate someone to hate on? How about number 71?
Yeah,
who got the, I didn't even know this was a thing, a penalty hat trick. 3 minor penalties in a row. Then
that was brutal.
He takes a 4th penalty, which was an unsportsmanlike, because he got mad that he got high sticked, but the refs didn't call it. So he decided to yell at the refs and get kicked out of the game.
Where's that passion when you're like playing with the puck, Gino? Like, where's that energy? He is so backwards to me as a hockey player, but you can't talk bad of Gino. 28 minutes and penalties. I have Gino behaving badly on my notes with an LOL, because the thing with this game was we started off strong and we started to fall apart. We were 60%, almost 61% on the face-off after the first period, with 15 shots to their 7. And then they started outshooting us. They outshot us, 13-10 in the second, and then 13-6 in the third, and ended up beating us in face-offs by almost 52%. So what that tells me is our game literally falls apart. It gets worse the more we play.
Yep.
And that is a problem, especially coming into the playoffs. Yeah. I'm not excited about this game. Like, I think it should have been more of a domination. Philly had their 3rd goaltender in, and I know sometimes the kids can pull out, all the stops, but and especially on Tanger's like 1000th game, the ceremonies, and all the warm and fuzzies. I don't know. I didn't see much motivated play here, and I guess they're stuck in playing desperate hockey. Either way, we got the win, and that's all that matters. Sydney gifted Rust with a game-winning goal. Really pissed me off. Like, I know chivalry's not dead in hockey, for Sydney's in hockey anyways. But
hey, Rust is hot. Hey, that's another goal.
He's not hot. But
Okay,
however, our errors were at the best. We only had 19 errors in this game, eh, Joe?
that's really good.
Guess how many were turnovers?
I'll say 11.
7.
Only 7 turnovers. Okay.
7 turnovers, and one for only one, no duplicates. Like 7 players, including DeSmith, 7 turnovers.
Okay.
And then 12 missed shots. But Letang and Sydney both with 3 errors. Again, Letang's always up there. Where's my notes here? Sorry. I went over the errors. Okay, so from the 4 games last week, Letang had 16 errors. The 3 games this week, Letang had 11 errors. Sydney had 9 last week, 10 this week. Gensel had 9 last week, 6 this week. Mind you, there was 4 games last week, and we only had 3 games this week. But in the last 7 games, Letang has had 27 errors. A moment of silence was needed for that.
A moment of silence.
So it's a little frustrating with regards to that. But one thing, and I know you know how much I love faceoffs, but I'm looking at just the breakdown for the game against Philly. O'Connor went 0 for 1. Paling went 5 for 9, which put him at 56%. Grunlund went 3 for 4, and he can be good or he can be completely trash. He's unreliable in that department, but he was good. Gino went 1 for 5, putting him at 20%. And remember, I've been tracking Gino in the first period. He barely takes any faceoffs. He needs to stop taking them all together. Is it really necessary? Is it really necessary he played? Like, I mean, I Gino, I know everybody loves Gino, and I know I came late to the party in Pittsburgh, but I'm still not sold on this guy. I love when he commits to a play. He's phenomenal, but like 95% of the game, it feels like he just doesn't want to be there. You can't be lazy in hockey. You cannot be lazy in hockey. There's no, you can't even be lazy while you're taking a break because you have on the bench because you need to, keep your body warm and keep your breath controlled for that next shift. Anyways, Carter went 6 for 11, which is 55%. And Sydney, who does take the most faceoffs, he went 12 out of 26 faceoffs, putting him at 46%. We suck in this department, and it needs to change. It needs to change even for next year. These errors, I do not want to talk about them once next year. It's just, it's so bad. It makes me mad.
I have no idea what's going to happen next year. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen with this team or this anything. We'll worry about next year.
Next year.
Next year.
This might become a drinking podcast.
When Sullivan was asked about Gino, he said, quote, "He got high sticked and the referees didn't see it. My sense is he was upset because he got 3 minor penalties, which one was a high stick. And then when he gets high sticked, they didn't see it. His emotions got the best of him in that circumstance. And Malkin and I will have a conversation about that. He's got to do a better job of controlling his emotions because we need him."
Yeah, we need him for that. We need him for that 25%. Yeah, this is one thing I've noticed about Gino and Sydney too. Actually, they are terrible at controlling their emotions, and they don't know how to channel that energy into their play. They just behave badly, and it's embarrassing, especially.
Listen, they're just rookies. They don't understand how to.
I know you're not rookies anymore.
You're supposed to be veterans that should know better. Not that's something you expect from a 19-year-old, not a 35-year-old. I'm laughing because Sullivan says me and Malkin are going to have a talk. What does that talk look like?
Yeah, I could see it. I totally could see it, Gino. So I need you really to control your emotions and try and funnel that into scoring goals. Okay, Gino's like, I am score.
Yeah,
control goals.
Malkin's like, Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep smacking, giving careless penalties, and I'm going to improve it by committing penalties at the worst possible times. I'm
Literally,
going to,
he's so good for that.
you know who he's really good at? When the Penguins are on the power play, he is so good at committing a penalty to even things up and to kill all momentum. He's so good
Oh,
at that.
what about that interview? Someone asked him. Who asked him? I think it was DK or someone. I don't know. I seen it on Twitter. He goes. He asked. He asked Gino about. I'm gonna piss myself. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was so funny. He asked Gino about why they don't shoot more on the power plays, and Gino's response is, "What? You don't think we try shooting?" And I'm like, "No, we watch you play hot potato with the puck every power play, so we know you don't try shooting. We see you don't shoot." And it's like you can't be that like out of touch. I get some people aren't able to take, criticism. Um, but you're in the wrong business if you can't take criticism. But yeah, I just laughed. I find like I don't know, Gino. You know what? Everyone loves him, and you can't speak out against him because you become a pariah. But
But that's the thing, and going back to last summer when they signed when they re-signed Malkin and Letang, and we laughed like crazy. And we didn't laugh because we thought they're terrible players. We laughed because nothing is going to change.
no,
That's the team. This team is the team, and they're just perfectly happy doing their thing and
winning.
not winning, not even thinking of changing anything, just not even considering it. Um,
Yeah, I won't be here for it again next year. I won't be here for it if it's going to be the same stuff. Like I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to Toronto. Who knows?
yeah, maybe we'll see how the Leafs are doing.
Yeah.
Somebody, yeah, if you talk about Letang and Malkin and you say anything bad about them, then you're the devil.
I
Here's
did, and I got
he,
I don't know 200 Pens fans all over me, and I felt like saying, if only you guys knew. But
here's what something here's what somebody tweeted yesterday, and I won't say who it is because screw them. They could have signed Chris Letang and Malkin to 8-year, $10 million deals, and I wouldn't give a single bleep. What a ceremony. What a trio. This is bigger than hockey, bigger than anything. Keeping these guys together is everything right now. Wouldn't trade it for a single thing. And
tag me on that so I can roast them, please.
that's the mentality of some fans. I've heard it from other people. I
No,
don't
I seen it
care.
too. I seen it today. I seen it. Oh, Gino and Letang, da 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 da. Best things we did was sign them, and I'm just like,
And it was like, oh yeah, all these people that say you shouldn't sign Gino, like, what's wrong? Well, look at them now. Yeah, great. They do good things, but then they also do terrible things, like have 4 penalties in a game and just give away the puck and just do whatever it wants.
or 27 errors in 7 games.
Yeah, yeah, and that's
Well,
the problem.
speaking of that, let's just go over the last 3 games. We had 34 turnovers. Guess who was first?
I'm gonna say Malkin.
No, actually, Gino's cleaned up his mistakes. Gino
Let's say
is not. Gino is not even on the. Gino had 1 turnover in the last 3 games. Letang had 6. Raquel, Rust, and Petrie had 3. Gensel had 4. Sydney only had 2, which is good. But yeah, missed shots 49. Sydney with 8. Zucker with 6. Gino with 5. Letang with 5. Clean that up, veterans. Have you not been playing long enough? Like, do you forget where the net is? The proximity from your stick to the puck to the net, the velocity of the shot, shoot where you're looking, Like, do we got to go back to like hockey 101, Timbit hockey? Let's go. Because if I was their coach, I would make them train to fix these errors. I would have them on the ice focusing on tightening up their shots. I don't think Sullivan does that.
Why would you?
I
Why
mean, in
would you?
total, we've actually increased our total up to 22.8. So we were at 22.1 about a month ago. So we're just getting worse in the error department. So 1,758 errors combined in 77 games. That hasn't been fixed though, Joe. It hasn't they haven't cleaned that up.
It has not improved.
No, they don't focus on what needs to be corrected. They just keep running through the same thing. And I literally have the quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I can't anymore with this team. Like it's so frustrating. Like I know are you even looking forward to the playoffs?
I don't even know if there's going to be a playoffs.
Exactly.
Like they are in the fight for their lives these last 5 games.
It's just frustrating. And I mean, like you can't, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You can't call out certain, like why the media isn't calling out these players, why they're just so hung up on them. Like, oh, we're all best friends. Trust me, guys, the players don't give a crap about you. They might be civil to you because it's in their contract to be respectful, literally. But like, do your jobs. I know. Okay, I'm coming from the Toronto market. Well, we're
Toronto
really
is brutal. Oh.
But sometimes brutal is good. I mean, not to the extent that Toronto is, because I think there's a lot of idiots in sports media. You know, those who can't talk about in that regard, whatever. But sometimes reality is important. You need to be made aware of what looks wrong, what looks bad, what isn't working, because sometimes the coaches and the players won't see it. Sometimes they will think, oh, they'll focus on just the good and forget about the bad. Okay, if I ignore this, it'll go away. It doesn't go away. It gets worse. That's it.
And now we are this is the second to last week of the regular season. 3 games this week. At New Jersey, home to Minnesota, at Detroit on Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So the Devils are winning this series 3-0. So they've beat us 3 times this year. So I don't want to say they're going to win because I said we were going to beat Boston and we didn't beat Boston. I'm going to say we go 3-0.
You think we're going to go 3-0? I'm going to say the same thing as last week.
2-1.
2-1, but I don't know where that one loss is.
Yeah. Okay. So Minnesota, we beat them 6-4 back in November, but Minnesota's a little bit different of a team than they were. And then Detroit, for some reason, I don't know.
Why can't we beat Detroit?
They've beaten us both times this season. So they leave. Okay, I changed my answer. We're gonna win 1.
Yeah.
No, you know what? They're gonna win. They're gonna go 3-0. They have to.
They kind of have to.
If they don't, and I'm tired. Are you not tired of hearing, well, we got to play with a little more urgency and desperation? Ugh.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing every time.
Over and over again. And it's like, it's so impossible to watch or listen to it or even take these people seriously when we watch their on ice performance and then the way they speak, including the coach after. And you're like, are you guys all like, are you all high? Are you seriously on something? Is there something? I know it's not in the water because you're fine, Joe. My other Pittsburgh friends are fine-ish. But it's like, what it goes through these guys' heads? How do you look at yourself in the mirror when you utter nonsense and you perform nonsense? This team is capable than a lot more than we're getting. And I'm primarily looking at Sydney and Jake and Russ and Gino and Letang and Dumoulin. These are players that all of them are not doing as well as they could. And I'm calling them all out. All of them. Except for you, Dumo. You're a peach.
Dumo's a peach.
Dumoulin's a peach. Like I said, he's matched his career best season. But everybody wants to chirp on Dumoulin. Keep it up, Dumoulin. You're doing a good job.
That assist to Zucker in the Nashville game, that might have been my favorite play of the whole season. Man, he was weaving in and out of people like crazy, and they were all diving at him. He's just like zipping in, like, yes. That's like some. Now I've never like I'm too young for Bobby Orr, but I remember Paul Coffey. Paul Coffey used to do that stuff all the time, just slicing through people. Love it.
YouTube. You can find all your Bobby Orr stuff on YouTube. That's where I spend most of my time.
I've never I've hardly ever seen anything of Bobby Orr, and I decided to look at some of his highlights. Dang, that guy was. I could see why you could say he's top 5 all time. That guy was disgusting. Phenomenal.
Not only that, he played with spirit. He had a spirit about him. Like, he was happy to be on the ice, and he loved playing. He loved doing what he was doing. We've lost that somewhere along the line. I think with these high contracts and stuff, and like labels and superstars and this, that, and the other, we've lost the joy, the fun in the game. You watch a team that has fun, it's like a different experience than watching a team like the Penguins, who it's painful. They're not having fun, and neither are we.
Yeah, we're not having fun watching them play. I think it being a long season has something to do with that. I think 82 games is too much.
Yeah, I need more hockey, not less.
Well, I believe there are no games tonight. That's ridiculous. Spread them out. There should be a game every night.
There's 3 games tonight.
Oh, there is? Okay.
I only know that because I'm in a fantasy league. Yeah, we got Vegas, Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas. And...
Okay. Well, there are some days where there are no games, and that's dumb. There should be a game. There should be at least one game every night.
Very well at all. Like with those 2 back-to-back games in New York. Like what?
Oh yeah, what was that? That was weird.
Yeah, no, that was really bad. That was really badly done. But that being said,
but yeah,
I still have hope for this team. If our best players could be best again, that'd be great. You know, like no other Penn fan wants to complain about Sidney or Gino, but I'm not having it. And if I'm speaking as a coach, both of them need to pick up their, what's the phrase? I try to be PG on this. I always go to cussing, Joe. Like my mouth goes.
Pick up their butts? I don't know.
I can't cuss. Yeah, but they both need to pull up their bootstraps. They both need to do better. Period. End of story. I don't like these numbers. Okay, what's Sidney at an 85, 86? How many points does he have on the season? Somewhere up there. He's
up there. He's doing all right. He's 3 from 1,500.
Yeah. What?
I think Crosby is 3 from 15.
This season.
Oh, this season? He's doing all right.
He's not though. All right isn't good enough when you're one of the best players on the planet. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. It's not. If he was playing, when I look at his numbers, like 3 shots on goal last night. Okay, he had 2 assists, but 46% on the face-off. So we're chasing the puck 26 times. He takes a face-off. 14 of those times, more than that. 14 of those times we're chasing. Guaranteed chasing. That's not okay for me. I don't like that. I expect more from my stars, and they should expect more from themselves too. So what's Sidney at? He's
88 points.
88 points.
31 goals, 57 assists in 77 games.
100,000% he'd be giving McDavid a run for his money if Sidney committed more and played consistently every night. Not even a doubt. Not even a doubt. Did you not see that pass the other night? What was it? Who was it to?
Was it to Rust? Are you talking about
I don't remember. Yeah,
against Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
It's just it was so. That's the kind of stuff I want to see from Sidney on every show. Because
that was all Rust on that play because Rust is back.
You're
He's
just trolling
back,
me at
baby.
this point. You're trolling me in real life.
Yes, I am.
Joe.
I am trying to agitate you like teams agitate Malkin. I mean, it's easy. It's easy. If I was the coach playing against the Penguins, I'd be like, "Hey, 71, just make him angry. He's gonna get a penalty, and then we'll have a power play, and then just rinse, repeats because it's just
Yep.
gonna do the same thing over and over again because that
The
dude does
teams
not
do know
learn.
that. That's why this keeps happening.
They
Teams
do.
do know this. And Gino is too stubborn to be like, oh, okay, let's become less predictable and let's play hockey. And oh, someone high stick me. Oh, I don't care. Oh, I didn't even feel that. You hit like a girl. I don't. That's not even socially be acceptable to say that anymore. But I'm still gonna say it. But yeah, no. Perspective has to change. Gino, Sydney, do better, please.
He has the franchise record for penalty minutes, and people make a joke of it. People think it's funny. It's like, oh, he's like he keeps getting these penalties, and nobody's gonna catch him on the penalty minutes record. Like, it's not funny. It's
Okay,
not.
maybe there is something in the water in Pittsburgh because
I need to
please,
drink more water, I guess is what we're saying. I'm gonna.
no, don't. You're gonna become. No, I don't even engage with Pens fans. I've told you this because it's like it's what's the point? Like they're just all hung up on their feelings, and it's not about winning. And okay, sure, you've had 5 cups in the last 40 years, 30 years. Okay, I want more. I just personally, I just want to see Sydney raise it 1, 2 more times.
we'll. You know what? You
I
might.
know what it takes. What's going to take for that to happen, but I don't know if they're willing to do that.
It could happen, but not with the Penguins. I'll just leave it at that.
It could happen.
He might end up in Colorado to finish his career.
Why does everybody think that?
Because he's buddies with McKinnon.
McKinnon's half his age.
You could have friends that are younger than you.
Yeah, but you don't want to uproot your life because of like a friend.
But would you uproot your life to win a cup?
I could see the Penguins winning a cup before I could see Colorado winning a cup again.
Wow.
And I'm kind of pathetic in this regard, remember?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you
are. Yeah, well, God, it's going to be one heck of an off season, and we'll talk about it at some point, maybe sooner than later, the way things are going. The season might end quicker than we think. God, if they don't make the playoffs, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine them not making the playoffs. But it could easily happen at this point.
Yeah, it's still like, it's so funny that I said this though almost a year ago, and here we are.
You said they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I did. I said that in July of last year.
I
didn't want to be right. I didn't want to be right. Like I do enjoy watching this team win. Trust me. I don't spend hours watching it in the game and then hours breaking down the game and then trying to figure out what needs to be fixed because I want to see them fail. No, but choices that are made, mistakes that are made do affect things down the road. So, clean that stuff up a bit and maybe things will change.
But there is hope if Jari is feeling better.
Hurt again? Wasn't he hurt again?
Probably. The dude probably gets, pulls something on his way to the bathroom or something. Who knows? I mean, but if he could somehow stay healthy and be solid, that would help a lot.
Yeah.
Smith wasn't bad against Philadelphia.
Casey was
but
great
still,
last night, actually.
He was
phenomenal last night. You know what? Everyone complains about these two goalies, and it's like, Jari wasn't up to snuff this year. Casey kind of got better and better. The more he played, the better he gets. He's not going to be great. He's not, I can't think of a goalie right now off the top of my head. Martin Brodeur. Patrick Waugh. He's not that caliber, but he's developed. His game has developed. It has improved, and it's been nice to see. Now, if we can just get a healthy Jari and 100% from Sydney, Gino, Raquel, Latang, Archibald, Rust, Bailey, Zucker, Petrie, Gensel, the whole, all of them, all of them.
Just those, all those things happen. Maybe they'll win more than one game against Boston in the playoffs. Oh,
should be fun.
It should be fun. You know what? I don't. I think it's obvious they're not going for in the playoffs, but I am looking forward to the playoffs because the NHL playoffs are the best thing in sports.
It is. It's the best. We actually get
Especially.
like the best. It's the best hockey. It's so exciting. Yeah. I don't know. Who's your team? Like, who are you going to pull for if not the Pens?
I'm not. Well, I'm going to pull against the Boston because I'm saying that the Boston will not win the cup, but I don't know. I haven't looked at who.
I'm good with Boston winning, but I kind of want Colorado or Toronto to win, or not Colorado. Sorry, Carolina or Toronto. I want to see Toronto win. I want the fans to stop complaining. It's a lot.
Toronto is going to win at least one round. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I have them in 6 against Tampa. But I want to see Brent Burns raise the cup more than anything. Any ex-Shark from that 15-16 season that could win a cup, yes, please. Okay. I might be able to sleep again at night.
Okay. So we'll get to we'll talk about the playoffs.
Dude.
But this is gonna be, we're down to the last 5 games and we still don't know whether it's gut check time. It's time to I don't know if we're allowed to say man up anymore, but time to step up.
Time to step up.
Yes. All right. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Jeff.
All right. See you.
Take care.
Bye.